All right, this is Otaku Phil here. So I took the carbs off the Gs400X, and this is a great example as to why I love buying these bikes and why I love taking 2 seconds to look at them. So, previous owner said he had rebuilt these carbs and the bike ran, but he couldn't keep it running. Didn't know what he was doing and decided to just go ahead and sell the bike. He was asking 500 for the bike. I got the bike for 300 bucks. So I went ahead and I took apart the carbs. And as you can see there, floats. There goes the pistons here are relatively clean. So they did clean it and they tried their hardest, you know. It's got new gaskets on it. You know, they did try, and they did a pretty good job. You know, the float jet seats are pretty clean. Even has good little filters on them. They clean these carbs. These carbs are nice and clean, and they're in pretty damn good condition. But I had this problem some time ago, and I always make sure to check for it. Because I got the bike, tried to start it up, noticed one of the carbs was leaking, and sure enough, one of the things I always make sure to check is these bloody floats, these metal floats, man. I always had problems with them. It's been rare when I found a bike where they're in perfect condition. They look good. They're relatively clean. But you can hear there's fuel in them. This one has a lot in it. So before you even mess with a carb, because a lot of times people think you got to completely tear down these carbs and rebuild them. A lot of times they're just dirty. You know, you don't have to buy a bunch of kits. Maybe buy just a float bowl gasket for the hell of it. But with these old bikes, I don't know if you can hear it, but they're always, these damn things always go bad. Always have problems with these guys. And you can't even really see it. It's hard to tell, but another good way to find them is, you know, you kind of tilt them around, give them a little squeeze, and you'll see fuel will start to come out. Typically, it's typically like around here in this area where it's little seams. Let's see if I get it to focus. There's always some little minuscule crack in here that causes it to freaking leak, or in this area. So remember, if you buy one of these old bikes, the owner says he couldn't get it started, a lot of times cleaning the carb and replacing these bloody floats, these metal floats, will get the job done. Now these things aren't too expensive, you know. These guys, you know, we'll get some aftermarket ones. If they have some plastic ones, I might get those, but they'll get some aftermarket ones of these guys for just like, I think they're like anywhere, depending on your bike, anywhere from like $10 to $20, you know, so it's not super expensive. It's a pretty easy fix, you know, because I had an XS750 that had the same problem. The bike ran, but then it would stop running. It would constantly flood the carbs, flood the engine, and it was a pain in the ass, and I couldn't figure out what it was until one day, just shook these damn things to find there was fuel in them. And that's what's happening. These things over time, they just suck up fuel and they just stay open. They don't close, and it'll cause you all types of headaches down the road. So this is Otaku Phil, just reminding you, check your metal floats. All right, talk to you guys later.